Shift gears now and talk gadgets. A next-generation foldable phone is finally set for release. After many delays, the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2 has gadget lovers in a froth again. For more on this, I'm joined by Jason Adrian, eMedia's head of development and all-round tech guru for us here in this building. Jason, thanks for coming in. I was surprised when I saw news all over Twitter and social media these last few days, because I thought that this thing had come out before, because I'm not a gadget head. Yes. As you well know, I ask you silly questions about these things, and that's why you are here. Yeah. What happened? Why the delay in the release of this phone?
So it's quite interesting, right? So Samsung announced in April that they're launching this new device. It's going to, according to them, revolutionize the whole mobile space because it's a completely new form factor. It's essentially a phone that folds. The screen itself folds. It's not one of those old flip phone, razor phones. It's actually a device.
So it folds like that inwards?
Absolutely. So it's like two iPhones or two Samsung Galaxies next to one another, and the whole thing is a screen, and then you fold it. So obviously, you can imagine a lot of challenges would come out of this new form factor. And it did. So much so that they had to push the release dates off by a number of months. And now finally, Samsung has come out and said, we're finally ready to give customers this device now in September. So the issues essentially was when they started handing out these phones to tech heads to start reviewing, a lot of these guys came back and reported issues with the screen. Two primary areas of concern was, one, dust would get in to the screen in the crack where the device hinges or folds, and the device would completely stop working. The screen would just switch off. And the other issue is there's a thin film that protects the screen, but is very much part of the screen. So it's not a screen protector over the screen that after a couple of folds would start peeling off. So those two issues were the two major issues that Samsung had been trying to grapple with.
But surely these are the kinds of issues that they would have noticed or picked up on in their preparation for its release, because surely we're talking about brand damage being done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it would have been part of the sort of quality assurance step of these devices, but obviously out in the wild, the conditions aren't exactly the same as in a lab in Korea. Exactly. So once actual technical people started running around and started using this device, that picked up on all of these issues. So Samsung has now addressed these issues, and the way in which they've done this is, number one, the issue with the screen peeling off, the film peeling off, is that they've now wrapped it completely around the screen in an attempt to prevent that from happening
like
going
a glove.
forward. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is they've started adding protectors on both sides of the device to prevent dust from getting into that screen. And then also, when you folded the screen, there was this narrow little gap between the two sides of the device. They've narrowed that down even further now to prevent any dirt or dust getting into obstructing the screen.
Okay, here's the thing. Why? Why do we need a phone that folds in that manner? Have the cell phone manufacturers run out of ideas?
It does seem like that, I guess, for the average Joe on the street, that, you know, at this point we're really scratching the bottom of the barrel of ideas, but it's a completely new form factor, right? And for me, what's interesting is the potential.
Why do you want it?
So it's the potential of this technology going forward, and investment for the future of this foldable screen tech will be funded by people buying these devices. So it's like the early days of investing into computers back in the day when IBM started releasing these PCs. You could do almost nothing on the thing, but it allowed us to have the amazing devices that we have now.
Okay, next question. Yes. When will it be available in South Africa, and how much are people going to be expected to pay for it?
So this is the curse of being an early adopter. It's going to be very expensive, 30,000 Rand by all estimates. 30,000 Rand for this phone.
That folds up and
yes,
possibly
that folds.
collects dust.
And they're saying that they'll start releasing these devices this month. So in South Africa, I'm not certain, but the rest of the world, a lot of the countries, it looks like September is the month.
Well, there you go. You've got 30,000 Rand itching in your wallet, and you want to have the very latest in cell phone technology. You know where to spend it. I think the one thing I could think of that it would be helpful with is, because the one thing with the cell phone is you cannot hang up with somebody angrily. And I feel like this allows you
Throw a toast.
to be able to at least get some of that back. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Jason Adrian, he's eMedia's head of development and has come in to answer those very difficult questions from those of us